25 years later that we'd still be talking about it. I honestly thought, wow, this is a really good role in a movie that probably nobody will see. And it's a testament to my judgment. What do I know? Nothing.
Let's start the questions. Who has the first question? Make it a good one. Raise your hands. Anybody? Anyone? All right, I have a question. Oh, okay, there you go, sir, right in the back.
Question for Jeffrey. Are there any plans?
Can you stand up, please?
No problem. Are there any plans to bring Nevermore to anywhere else besides California?
Nevermore, and for those of you who don't know, is a one-man show I do about Poe, and I actually did it here in Baltimore in the converted chapel next to his grave in downtown for his birthday bicentennial last year. You know, it started in LA as a 4-week run and exploded into a 6-month run. I'm still, you know, I mean, last year I toured it around. Actually, I went to Montreal and to Austin and Baltimore, of course, and San Diego, and I would love to tour it around. The difficulty I found is that you have to have a booking agent in order to sort of get on the circuit, and they're all back east. So at this point, you know, being out in California, it's weird. I've tried long distance to sort of impress upon those people in New York, and you know, so far, if it's not right in front of them, they can't quite grasp it. So we're still fighting to do that. So maybe check my website. There may be a possibility that I'll be doing it in New York coming up. So, but that hasn't all been finalized. So there's that. I get emails all the time from people saying, "Hey, why don't you bring it to, you know, Denver or Minneapolis? We'd love to see it." And you know, it doesn't quite work that way. It's not like me saying, "You know what? I'm going to take it to Peoria this weekend." It doesn't work that way. It's sort of like you kind of have to ask to dance. So it's a little difficult. So, well, you know, the word is out there, and so we'll just keep fighting the fight. Thank you. And if you get in LA, you know, I'm still doing it once a month there. And
does everybody know where he does it in?
put ads if it was an unrated movie, and others, like the LA Times, would not allow graphic. This is my phone ring. You like it? Right?
Nice. It's perfect for you.
That used to be you before I got Re-Animator.
Hello. Take that later. So that was the real gutsy move. Movies don't do that anymore. They will not play the game because it just doesn't make you know, economic sense to tie one hand behind your back in terms of publicity and exposure and stuff. So I also remember that, you know, now 25 years later, you remember it as being this cult classic, but it actually went in stages. I remember that, and I still have a file at home of the original reviews, and actually it was kind of right down the middle, wasn't it? There were some people that said this is great, and then there were a lot of people that said this is just shocking. This is just shocking. Oh.
But I remember the people that mattered really, like Roger Ebert really liked the movie. Pauline Kael really liked the movie.
Pauline Kael put it on our top 10 list for the year of all movies, so that was phenomenal. I also, speaking of Roger Ebert, I remember, you know, it was Ebert and Siskel, and this just shows to go you what reviewers can be like. when they first reviewed it, it was one thumb up and one thumb down.
Oh, I didn't know that. I remember.
Yeah, and then 6 months later, they had a show where they did like movies that you may have missed in the theater that are coming out on VHS. There was no DVD in those days. And all of a sudden, Gene Siskel just loved the movie. And I was thinking, where did that come from? Does
He
not-
just made a mistake.
Yeah. So, yes.
Just wondered if you had any funny Stuart Gordon stories.
Well, I have to say one thing about Stuart, which is the first thing that always comes to mind when people ask that question. And it may have been you that gave him that moniker, but we always say about Stuart, more is not enough.
Yeah.
So
He gave
there was
it to
always
himself.
more blood, more guts, more screaming. You know, just give me
There's
more.
that thing in theater and acting that say less is more. Stuart, it's more is more.
Yeah, funniest thing that ever happened was during From Beyond, I had to eat some brains. And they had this rubber brain, and they actually had carved out of it a little, like, bite piece. So, you know, we shot the scene, action, you know, so I took a bite. Stuart said, cut. What are you eating? I said, well, I'm not eating anything. I'm just miming it because he goes, well, it kind of looks like that. And I went, well, what am I supposed to? I can't eat the rubber, and there's an empty spot there, so I was kind of. He goes, went to the makeup people, and he said, is there anything here that's pink, like this brain? And one guy said, I got some polygrip. So he said, put that in there. Put that in there, and Jeff bite into that, you know. Okay. And I had a line, you know, I take the bite, and someone says, Crawford, what are you doing? And my line is, it's delicious. So, action. Crawford, what are you doing? What's he do? You can't talk.
Your mouth was stuck together.
Polygrip just takes everything, every piece of moisture in your mouth away.
I'm surprised they didn't give you like beets or something, like cut up some vegetables and color them and just put them in there. Like, why did they think of that?
You're on set, you know, beets are and we're in Italy. So, yeah, it was a little difficult to, you know, you just go in
Pasta sauce, something.
So Stuart said, what was that? What are you doing? I went, he goes, no, it can't be that difficult. And I went, well, you do it. He goes, okay, I will, because I don't ask an actor to do anything that I won't do myself. So they filled it up, and he bit it. And he went, once he cleaned his mouth out, he went, just mime it.
I don't think you could tell in the final product because I think it looked fine.
Yeah, I do too. It was fine in the first place.